Renfield here, and yikes. You're watching Transylvania Tonight. Oh. With Drac and Carita, Halloween is the spookiest time of the year. The season where we spend a lot of time with Annabelle and Chucky and Jigsaw. Or if you're a little older, you could be partial to Freddy and Jason and Michael. And if you're a really old relic like Drac, Halloween means spending your evenings with Dracula and Frankenstein and the Mummy. Happy Halloween. I didn't even want to go camping in the first place.
Good evening. I'm Halloween Jack, the CEO and chairman of the board for the Monster Channel. I just wanted to drop in and wish everyone a happy Halloween. And now I'll turn the channel back over to Transylvania Tonight and your hosts, Countess Carita and that relic from an era gone by, Drac.
Good evening, and welcome to Transylvania Tonight. Here we are again on another Halloween. But then again, every night is Halloween for us, isn't it? At least for Drac and myself it is. So, here he is, the king of the vampires, everyone's favorite Halloween relic, my deadest Drac.
Oh, isn't that nice? Did you hear that? Every one of them said that they relish seeing me.
Drac, that's not what they said.
What did they say?
They said you were a relic.
Relic?
Uh-huh.
They said I was a relic? Let's get on with the show.
Not even close to being live from the Borgo Pass, it's Transylvania Tonight. With your hosts, that award-winning king of the vampires, Drac, and Countess Carita, the darling of the undead. Join Drac and Carita for tonight's feature film, The Phantom of the Opera.
I'm Drac. She's Countess Carita, and welcome to Transylvania Tonight.
We're happy to have you here with us this evening so we can celebrate Halloween together.
And I know what you're thinking. You're probably all thinking, well, geez, doggone it. Who are you supposed to be dressed up as? Because, you'll probably remember that last Halloween, Carita and I dressed up as two of our favorite pioneering horror hosts.
If you don't remember, here we are from last Halloween as Vampira and Goulardi.
Hey group, welcome to Transylvania Tonight. Goulardi here, and it's going to be a good night. So cool it, cool it, cool it, cool it. And speaking of cool, we got Miss 1954, that cool goulette over there.
Vampira here, and I've stocked up on a healthy supply of vampire cocktails because I don't want to miss a moment of this show. I don't want to leave this seat, would you? It will be thrilling and chilling, and I will be swilling. And if I run out of cocktails, your throat I'll be drilling.
Now you may wonder why Carita and I are dressed like this. Well, it's because we're cool, and it's Halloween.
So this Halloween, we thought we'd do something just a little bit different. And the program would be hosted by that darling of the undead, Transylvania sweetheart, our very own Countess Carita.
Oh, thank you, Daddy.
Oh, you're welcome, babies. And co-hosting the show, along with Carita, would be the world's best and most beloved horror host.
Really?
Really?
Who is it?
What?
You said my co-host was going to be the world's best and most beloved horror host. Who is it?
It's me, Carita.
Really?
Really?
Seriously?
Seriously.
No, I mean seriously. Who calls you the world's best and most beloved horror host?
Well, everybody says that.
Nobody says that.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Well, they sure do, doggone it. Listen to this. Oh, Bob.
Yeah, boss.
Bob, who am I?
Well, you're the king of the vampires, Drac.
And just who is Drac?
Well, Drac is... Oh, hold on a second. Let me put on my glasses. Drac is the world's best and most beloved horror host.
There. See?
He was reading that.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, brother. Yes, he was.
Oh, forget about it. Just tell everybody about tonight's movie.
Tonight's movie is a true classic. It's 1925's The Phantom of the Opera with the legendary Lon Chaney.
And once again, for this silent film, we have a new score that's been arranged by our very own Stephanie Kokai.
Oh yes, let's not forget to mention the world's best and most beloved executive producer, Stephanie.
Now, was that necessary?
Start the movie. After the success of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Universal Studios was eager to make another big-budget Lon Chaney spectacular.
But it wasn't supposed to be The Phantom of the Opera. Initially, Universal announced that its next extravaganza was going to be a film version of Victor Hugo's By Order of the King, which is better known by the title The Man Who Laughs. Embarrassingly, though, once they had made that major announcement, Universal discovered that the rights to that story were already being held by a French studio.
So the race was on to find another suitable property for the Man of a Thousand Faces to star in.
And during the course of that race, it was discovered that years earlier, and forgotten about, Universal's president Carl Laemmle had actually purchased the rights to The Phantom of the Opera directly from the novel's author, Gaston Leroux.
Carl Laemmle would frequently take extended vacations to Europe, which ultimately became international shopping excursions where Laemmle would purchase hundreds of interesting items that he thought would make good movie props or furniture. One of these items is Christine's bed in The Phantom of the Opera. This item looked so good on camera that later it can be seen in Gloria Swanson's classic film, Sunset Boulevard.
Carl Laemmle bought so many things on those trips to Europe that once he bought them, he just completely forgot about them. And one of those things was The Phantom of the Opera. Once he had secured the rights, the contracts were filed away and completely forgotten about.
The Phantom of the Opera was the perfect choice for Chaney to showcase his makeup skills. Much of the look of the film was inspired by the original book plates in the 1910 edition of the novel. Here we see a rendering of the masked ball where Eric, the Phantom of the Opera, dresses as the Red Death. And it's interesting to note that Chaney himself based his makeup on the book plates as well. While we can only see the bottom portion of Eric's face in this painting, I think it's pretty apparent that it was the inspiration for Chaney's makeup design. And the influence of the novel's artwork is even more apparent here in this painting of Eric atop the statue on the roof of the opera house. Using this artwork as his inspiration, Lon Chaney not only created one of his best-known makeups, but one of the best-known makeups in the history of movies.
It's time for Letters to Drac, where you, the home viewer, write letters to me, Count Dracula, and I answer your questions right here on the program. Do we have a letter, Carita?
We do. We have a question from a viewer in Cleveland.
Oh, the rock and rollin' capitals of the world. Oh, great.
The letter reads, Dear Drac, do you like cats? Sincerely, Michael Krajewicz. Do you like cats, Drac?
Well, of course. Seriously, who doesn't like cats? I love them.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Especially breaded and deep fried.
Drac, that's awful.
Oh, no, it's really good. Trust me.
That's just horrible.
Well, I would admit, okay, that if you have time, a nice slow rotisserie roast is better.
Drac.
Especially on a bed of rice with some soy sauce.
That's just unforgivable, Drac.
Come on, Carita. Are you going to tell me you've never had Chinese takeout?
That's it for Letters to Drac. Keep those cards and letters coming. We are going to have so much apologizing to do for this.
Why? It doesn't give me gas. It doesn't.
Pariat? Madam Vatacrakanova, psychic to the stars. To whom am I speaking?
Shouldn't you already know that?
Kavea, what?
If you're a psychic, shouldn't you have already known who I was before you even picked up the phone?
Don't be smart, Alec. Nobody likes smart Alec. Who is this smart Alec anyway?
It's Carita, madam.
Ah, but of course. Countess Carita. I was expecting you to call.
You were?
But of course. I am Madam Vatacrakanova. What can I see for you, darling?
Well, I have a question about Drac.
You have a question? About the king of vampires?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's look into the cards.
I didn't know you'd be reading the tarot cards.
I'm talking about the credit cards.
Oh, put it on Drac's Transylvanian Express card.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
You did?
Of course.
That's amazing.
Sure, that's me. The amazing Madam Vatacrakanova. Now, what do you want to know about the old bat?
I want to know if, well...
Come on. Spit it out.
Is there somebody else?
For you? There must be. I've been thinking that for years.
No, I mean, is Drac seeing somebody else?
Honey, it's Drac we're talking about.
And?
Who else would want him?
Oh, well, yes, I guess you're right. That makes sense.
Is there anything else of great importance?
Yes. What do you think of this nail polish?
Oh, yeah. I love your nail polish. Beautiful color for you, Carita. And I could compliment you on your dress as well. But might I remind you, we are paying by the minute.
Then I guess that's all for now, madam.
Okay, But I do have one great tip for you for the lottery tomorrow.
What's that?
Save your money. Good night, my darling.
Good night. Tip on the lottery. Save my money. I never win anyway. How could she know that? She really is amazing.
his farm he had some wolves. E-I-E-I-E-O! I'm Drac, and this is the Borgo Pass Report. Our top story tonight. Whoa! Looks like we got breaking news. For more on this, we go to our Countess Carita. Pumpkin?
Thanks, Drac.
Sure.
I've been told that we have Halloween Jack waiting on the line, and he's here to make a statement. Are you there, Jack?
I am, Carita, thank you.
You're welcome, Jack. What's on your mind this evening?
Well, I have a retraction and statement to make regarding something Drac said earlier in tonight's show. I wanted to let everyone know that Drac is not the world's best and most beloved horror host, as he previously stated.
What?
Sorry, Drac, but what you said just isn't true. You are not the world's best and most beloved horror host.
Says who?
Everybody.
No, really, who said that?
Really, everybody. Everybody that we talked to has said that. People have been calling the station and complaining ever since you said it.
Then who is the world's best and most beloved horror host?
I couldn't tell you, Drac.
So, it could be me.
No, Drac. As people were calling in from all over the world, we took a poll, and it was a 24-way tie.
So, I'm one of the 24 best and most beloved horror hosts in the world.
Nope. Sorry again, Drac, but you weren't in the top tier.
I wasn't?
No. But congratulations to you, Carita.
You mean I was in the top 24?
Oh, yeah. In fact, up until the last couple of minutes, we thought you were going to be the winner.
Aw, thank you, Jack.
So I came in 25th.
No, that was the Monster Channel logo.
26th?
That was the swirling pumpkin icon in the center of the screen when people are loading the channel on Roku.
Oh. Well, then I certainly must have been...
That was a test pattern. But it was the cool old test pattern, you know, the one with the Indian inside the circle.
A test pattern got more votes than me?
Well, considering that you didn't get any votes at all, yeah.
Well, how do you know the vote was accurate?
Drac, the voting was supervised by the Great Pumpkin. Are you going to question the Great Pumpkin?
No.
And he told me to call in and set the record straight and tell you to stop spreading false information.
Okay. Anything else, Jack?
Yes. Happy Halloween! Talk to you soon.
Oh yeah, thanks, Jack. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Drac, you're getting another one of those phone calls.
Well, the hits just keep on coming. Huh? All right, put him on through.
Daddy?
Daddy's really not in the mood. What is it now, Jerry?
Well, I'm having trouble with Sapphire.
Oh, your girlfriend, the stripper.
Yeah, her.
Did she dump you?
No, worse.
What could be worse than that?
She moved in with me, and I can't get rid of her.
She's moved in already?
She has.
Wow. She works fast.
Daddy, you have no idea.
Does she clean the house?
No, and it's a pigsty.
Does she cook?
Yes, but she eats it all.
Does she do your laundry?
Only if there's something of mine that she wants to wear.
She wears your clothes?
She does.
Your clothes fit Sapphire?
They do now. That's because she eats like a horse.
She does?
Have you ever seen one of those Coney Island, 4th of July, hot dog eating contests?
Yes, I have.
She makes the contestants look like amateurs, and her table manners are atrocious. She just wipes her hands on whatever shirt she's wearing and digs in for more.
Ooh, that's bad.
It is, especially since she's always wearing my shirts. They all have grease stains on them now.
Well, Jerry, I don't know what to say. Daddy told you not to have anything to do with the nasty lady.
But Mommy said, if it feels good, do it.
See, Carita, this is all your fault.
But I wasn't myself.
Well, that's no excuse. So, have you learned a valuable lesson here, Jerry?
I have.
And what is that?
Father knows best.
What was that? I didn't hear you.
Father knows best.
Thank you.
And you know what else, Daddy?
What, Jerry?
I should have listened to you to begin with, because you're just about the smartest daddy in the whole doggone world. So, what do I do?
Well, you said she's eating you out of house and home.
Right out into the streets. I'm going broke feeding her.
Then turn this negative into a positive. This is what I'd do if I were you, all right? I'd install a stripper pole in your living room. Then invite all your friends over to watch Sapphire dance, okay? And then at the end of the night, collect up all the money off the floor that they threw to her and go out and buy groceries with it.
Gee, you really are the smartest daddy in the whole world.
And get yourself some new shirts.
Jerry, baby needs more bean dip.
Okay, honey. Thanks, Daddy, but I gotta go to the store. Sapphire has to have bean dip for her Oreos.
She puts bean dip on Oreos?
Don't knock it till you tried it. Talk to you later. And keep on trucking.
This is all your fault.
How is this my fault?
You spoiled the boy too much.
I spoiled him too much. He didn't even think he was our son until you told him he was.
Well, yeah, but now he takes after your side of the family.
Well, thank goodness for that. If he took after your side of the family, poor Sapphire would be impaled on her own stripper pole and set on display in Jerry's front yard.
Well, you say that as if it would be a bad thing. Now we go to our Mr. Renfield for a special report. Are you there, Renfield?
I'm here, Master.
Renfield, what are you wearing?
Oh, I'm dressed up like a witch. Why?
Why?
No, witch.
No, I mean, why are you dressed up like a witch?
Oh, I'm helping some children with their Halloween school project.
Ah. Can you hear that, Renfield?
What's that, Master?
It's the sound of the children's grade point averages falling.
I didn't hear anything.
And that goes to prove my point.
My hat has a point.
Which proves my point again.
Yes, it's a witch's hat.
Which complements the point on your head.
Thank you.
Yes. So what's this school assignment all about?
Well, the children had to do a report on Halloween, and they chose witches. It's for the show and tell, so I thought I'd show you the dress rehearsal.
which would explain why you're wearing a dress.
What?
Which?
Who?
You.
Me?
Which?
Yes.
Okay.
A report on witches. There are many kinds of witches. There are good witches, bad witches, dark witches, white witches, and desert witches. Those are the best kinds. They're called sandwiches. Witchcraft was fairly common in the Middle Ages. People who didn't like it asked the witches to stop being witches, but the witches said, no way, get lost. We like being witches. Then the people told the witches to knock it off. The witches laughed at the people and kept on being witches. This made the people mad. So they started burning the witches at the stake. Between the 15th and 18th century, over 50,000 witches were burned at the stake in Europe. But it didn't work, and there are still witches today, because that's what my mommy calls my grandma. The end.
Oh, very good, Renfield.
But there's more. This is for the show part of the show and tell. So for the show part, I actually conjure a fireball like this. Ouch! Ouch! Well, I didn't think that through well enough. I didn't think you'd burn if you weren't a witch. Ouch! I'd better make sure I take some marshmallows with me for the kids. Back to you, Drac.
Okay, that's all the time we have for this time. We'll see you next time on the Borgo Pass Report.
Poor Renfield. You should do something, Drac.
Like send marshmallows?
Do you really think those children would use poor Renfield to roast marshmallows?
Well, it is Renfield. So, roasting weenies would be redundant.
And now, here's an editorial comment from the Borgo Pass news director, Groucho.
Groucho here, the Borgo Pass news director with an editorial comment. So it's Halloween. Trick or treat. Time for all the trick-or-treaters to take to the streets. Well, do I have a trick-or-treat story for you? Here I was last night, minding my own business, when all of a sudden there came a knock at the door, followed by a chorus of trick or treat. So I got up to answer the door, expecting to find some little ghosts and goblins. But much to my surprise, when I opened the door, I found out that my little scamps were actually 3 Scandinavian bikini models. Well, they looked me over from head to toe, and they asked me, "Are you the Dr. Groucho that we've heard so much about?" And I told them, yes, I am the Dr. Groucho, because of course, you know, I didn't want to disappoint them. So they came in and closed the door behind them and said, "Good, because we are 3 Scandinavian bikini models who feel like we're coming down with bad chest colds and we need thorough examinations." Those poor girls. Had you seen them, you would have known that a chest cold for them could have been fatal. So they led me over here, and no sooner were we here than they began to bind me to the headboard. And I asked them, I said, if I'm the doctor, why am I the one that's being bound to the examination bed? Well, I mean examination table. And they said it was all part of the treat. So I, of course, relaxed and let them have their way with me. Yes. They were so gentle. And once they had me firmly secured, they ransacked my rooms. They got $47 and Mother's gold-plated toothpick. So let my Halloween cautionary tale be a lesson to you. Just as behind every dark cloud is a silver lining, behind every treat could be a really dirty trick. See what I mean? I'm Groucho, the Borgo Pass news director, and this has been my editorial comment.
Well, now that you're here, untie me. Untie me. Oh, no. No! Somebody call the police.
This has been an editorial comment from the Borgo Pass News Director, Groucho.
You! Not enough kazoo, Elton. You're gonna hear from my lawyer. I called Bat and Bat. You hired Bat and Bat? Yes. You monster!
Hey, Jack Torrance here, manager of the beautiful Overlook Hotel. You know, I've been here since 1980. I worked my way up from the boiler room to the ballroom. You know, it's that time of year again. It's that season where there are haunt attractions popping up all over the country. And some of those haunt attractions brag that they have a story that goes through every room in the house. Amateurs. Because everybody knows that America's favorite haunt attraction is the Overlook Hotel. And we have a ghost for every room in the joint. Even the janitor's storage room. Ooh, the things he could do with that mop. And during your stay, if you want to get out and get a little bit of that October night air, we have an Indian guide out back that'll take you on a tour of the grounds that ends at the sacred Indian burial ground. And that Indian knows that burial ground pretty doggone well, because he's been there since 1842. So book into the Overlook Hotel and we'll turn your lights out for you. And remember, there's always a free continental breakfast. See you soon.
Welcome to Dream Interpretations with Countess Carita, where somebody tells me their dream and I interpret it for them. We're very fortunate to have our very own Count Dracula here with us. Thank you, Drac.
You're welcome, Carita.
Now, you're going to tell us about your dream, and after you have, I'll explain what it means, okay?
Okay.
So tell us about your dream.
All right. Well, here's my dream. I had this a few days ago, okay? It was down in the village below the castle. I was there, and I was standing in the town square, and it was like midnight. And I could tell it was midnight because I could hear a church bell ringing 12 times in the background. Ding, ding, ding. And there I was. I thought I was all alone in the town square, and I turn around, I look, and standing right across from me, there's this beautiful peasant girl. And I look at her, and she looks at me, and then I start to take a step forward. And she starts to take a step forward. But there's something about the look in her eye that kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I step back, and I blink. And when I blink, where there was one peasant girl, now there are three. There's one on each side of her. And I blink again, and there's 6, and then 12. And I keep taking a step forward, and I step back. And then there's 24 of them, and they keep coming forward, and I keep going back. And then 48, 96, and pretty soon there are like hundreds of these peasant girls. So now I'm pretty spooked, right? Because it's late, all these peasant girls out. I know they're up to no good for some reason. So I'm starting to get really scared. I turn and I start running out of the town square. And as I do, they start running after me. I look over my shoulder, and boy, they could run pretty doggone fast, you know? We run past all the shops, like leading out of town. We run past all the shacks and the hovels of the peasants, and I'm running as fast as I can, and I look over my shoulder, and there's still all these peasant girls. I mean, now it's like thousands of them following me, and I'm running, and I'm getting tired, and you know, for some reason, I can't turn into a wolf to outrun them. I try turning into a bat. I can't turn into a bat to fly away, and I look, and they're gaining on me, and I see, oh, there's a field. So I run off the road and I run into the field, but it had just been harvested. So it was all just flat farmland. There was no place for me to hide. So I stop, I'm out of breath, and I turn around and I look at all these thousands of peasant girls, and they start to encircle me all the way around. And they started throwing things at me, and they were yelling at me. What does it mean?
What were they throwing at you, Drac?
They were throwing clothing.
And what were they yelling?
Well, they were yelling, "Hey, put on your clothes." What does it mean?
That's it for this edition of Dream Interpretations with Countess Carita. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
No, really, Carita, what does that dream mean?
Well, that's our show for tonight. Thank you for joining us for this special Halloween presentation of The Phantom of the Opera.
We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, fly right.
Drac, why are you wearing a mask?
Why am I wearing a mask? Why am I wearing a mask? Well, let me tell you, Carita. I'm wearing the mask so that you can pretend you're hosting the show tonight with one of the other 24 best and most beloved horror hosts in the world.
Oh.
Carita! Carita, come back here!
What, Drac?
Why did you scream when you looked at my face?
It reminded me I have to get to the store before it closes.
Seeing my face reminded you that you have to get to the store before it closes?
Yes, they're having a sale on ham.
Oh, brother. I think she needs to remember who brings home the bacon. Happy Halloween. I'd like you to meet this guy. You know, when I got him, I knew he was going to be my best friend, constant companion, and confidant, so I named him Watson.
We have a great movie for you tonight. It's about a sideshow ventriloquist who uses his talents to make dumb animals talk. Say hello, Drac.
Hello, Drac.
How was that? Watch, I'll do it again. Start the show, Drac.
Oh boy, doggone it. We have a great show for you tonight. So let's not waste any time. Let's get it started right now.
And you never even saw my lips move, did you? That wasn't pretty. Get over here.
Lay down. Lay down. Is he in the shot again?
Something more comfortable. Oh, stepped on my cape.
I think he got in it again.
I know.
Stay. Or not. It's just a suggestion.
Gee, Sandy, where do you think Daddy Warhorse and Punfield are? Hey, you in the front row. Stop trying to look up my dress.
He looked up too, didn't he? Let's see.
Transylvania Tonight is a Fly-Right production.
Look up at you and kiss me.